thought, oh no, not another Robert movie.
Yeah.
It is not another, it's a different Robert movie. Because Neil, I really love his movies, and it's even for girls, you know.
Yes.
You like it?
Oh, I loved
He's
it.
so fucking stylish.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I love District 9, and it was my secret desire to work with Neil Blomkamp. I never said it to anyone, not even my agent, so it was really on my birthday last year that I got the script, and even though it was a small part, I didn't care. I would have done anything, you know, and I love the movie. I think it has it's so outlandish, it's so stylish, it's also so funny, and I think very touching. Really, I think it's a movie for everybody.
It is touching with his little
I
face.
know. I love those.
But Sigourney, because you said on your birthday, I mean, how does it feel to be an icon for people? Is that a weird thing, or you're used to it by now?
You know, I don't really know what it means. I sort of only know what it means in a press situation. I feel very fortunate that I got very lucky early on to be in this movie, Alien, that sort of catapulted me into a certain position in the industry, and yet I've been able to jump around a lot in my career, and then so I don't really know what it means. I think it's very flattering. I know my family laugh when they hear me called an icon, since I'm just, you know, to them a mother, and anyway, I only hear it here.
Because it was so sweet. Last night at the fan event, there was this 19-year-old girl, and she said she came because of you, you know. And obviously your fans are very young also, of course through all generations, but really young girls.
Yeah.
And so you're also, I know actors have that when they're famous, you're a role model to a certain extent. So is that a pressure on you? Are you aware of that?
You know, I'm very flattered by that. It really touches me how many fans came out last night and how many selfies I did with really very young girls and young boys. The range of ages of the fans, you know, Germany has great fans, but I was very touched by that. And I don't know why, maybe because of Avatar they know about me, but you know, my husband and I work with a theater in New York that we have many young actors and directors coming in and out. I had great mentors when I was coming up as an actor, and I learned so much from them, and I feel like their example of work ethic and all those things is still with me every single day. So I don't know, it is a responsibility, but I think it's very important for us all to give each other a leg up, and so I'm very touched by a young woman saying that.
And also what is interesting, I read a little bit in the morning for breakfast, you know, because you have a huge tour behind you meanwhile, you know, you travel so much. It's always interesting, even last night, with women, they always say the age. They say, oh yeah, she looks so great, she is over 60 now.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, who says he's over 40? Why is it like that, you know? With us women, it's always an issue. What do you say about that?
It's true, and I think it does probably contribute to a kind of ageism. On the other hand, I think being an older woman, I feel like older women are fantastic. So I'm proud to be 65. And my mother was always very fit, and so I think we can all sort of take care of and inspire each other, and you know, all that stuff Patricia Arquette said at the Oscars. I feel like, yes, let's together as sisters, not only in our film industry, but really in all the fields, at least in America, women are paid much less, and we shouldn't accept it. We should gang together and do something about it.
Yeah, and she was so right.
Yeah.
I loved her for that also. And it's also, you know, this, like you called it ageism. I never heard that word. It's interesting. Because I have the feeling, I do my job also since like over 25 years now, and I have the feeling that women in Hollywood today, when they're over 30, 35 and up, they get much better roles today than they got like 10 years ago. Would you agree to that?
I think that's true. I think it's actually hard for men and women of any age to find interesting roles in interesting movies. But I do think that if you can survive sort of that middle period, look at Maggie Smith and Vanessa Redgrave and Judi Dench. God, they inspire me all the time. And I look at my peers like Helen Mirren and Meryl and Julianne Moore. I feel like if we, that writers think of us and want to write great roles for us, and you cannot. They've always underestimated what women want at the box office. They think they all want to see Hugh Jackman, and of course we do all want to see Hugh Jackman, but I think we also look for some kind of sustenance from watching these women characters.
Absolutely, I think so, and that really changed, and I love it that it changed, really. I just had an interview with Helen Mirren, and I also said, she's working more than ever,
Yeah.
she's like constantly on screen.
Me too.
You too, you see.
Yeah.
Alien, you said it's too early to say too much, but you're going to be a part of it.
Yes, we've been talking about it for a year, and actually it's been a huge secret to keep, So,
no secrets anymore.
No secrets anymore, and I think we're both delighted, and I can't think of a director I would trust more with this. I hate to call it a franchise, it sounds like French fries or something, but with this story and telling the ending of the story, which I could never figure out how it should end, and I never wanted to do just another one to do it. So I feel that this was meant to be.
Mm-hmm. Very last, I have one last question. I have a double slot. Don't wonder that.
Okay, no, I'm having a good time. Don't worry. Okay. Stay as long as you like.
And how? Because when I saw the movie, what I think Neil always captures very well is the state of our world we are in.
Mm-hmm.
This, you get the feeling. How can you explain your children the horrible sides of our world? What do you tell them?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think in America, our teenagers won't be able to see Chappie in a movie theater. And oddly, I think it's actually a very important movie for young people to see, because Chappie is a young person in a very negative environment with very weird role models, and he finds a way to survive bullying and other things that kids are dealing with all the time, and to flourish and to become himself. And I think it's such a great coming-of-age story, even though, yes, it has fantastic action and it's funny. To me, it's a very touching, classic story. And I think our rule is, I think the only reason kids aren't going to watch it in America is because there's some bad words. That, to them, is the most terrible thing. Not even the violence. It's always the swearing. And with DeAntwood, of course, there was swearing. But eventually, I think everyone will see it, and I think it's a wonderful movie for the whole family, even though it's kind of an adrenaline-boosting movie.